Hello and welcome to step one, the first floor. This is what we're going to build. So I deleted the initial person, and we're going to start with looking at this floor plan. We're going to start with this part of the building, just the main floor on the ground level. We're not going to do the garage or the breezeway or the deck quite yet. We'll add those on later, and they'll be a little bit more complex. So we're just going to start with this. So the main floor of the house is 46 feet by 34 feet. And I've done this a few times, and every time I always do it wrong. I make it 64 feet. I don't know why I always invert this. So I'm going to try to remember to make this 46 feet by 34 feet. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool, start from the origin, and I'm going to start with 34 feet, comma, 46 feet. Enter. And there is our first floor, and this is the correct dimensions. You'll notice it's blue on the surface. We'll fix that just by, what I'm going to do is rotate down to the bottom and pull it down about 6 inches. So we can call that like a slab on grade. It doesn't have footers or anything, but it'll be good enough for our purposes for now. Let's do the exterior walls. The exterior walls are 11 3/4 inches. So we will use the offset tool and just get them all in one shot. Click to start our offset, and then type 11.75 for 11 3/4 inches. I usually use the decimal because it's easier, but you can say, 11 space 7 slash, I'm sorry, 11 space 3/4. You can do that as well. I just do 11.75 because it seems a little quicker, and I don't have to type a slash. So what we're going to do to start off our layout is, I'm not going to walk through the whole thing. I'm just going to show you how to model these 3 rooms. And then I'll give you a few tips and things to look out for the rest of the building, and then I'll let you build it on your own. Or at least just do the layout. We're not, because you could push-pull this up right now. But we want to lay out all of our walls before we do the push-pull, because it is more dramatic, and also it's just easier to work on this flat surface while we can, instead of having to maneuver either camera around inside of a building, which gets a little frustrating sometimes, I'm not going to lie. So let's lay it out. Think of it like laying out chalk lines for a house that you're building. So we'll pull a tape measure here, make a mark here, make a mark here. You pull your chalk line, snap it, and that would be your line for this wall. Let's do that here. And you can just use the measurements that are in the plan. So this room is 6 feet wide, 6 feet. This wall, this is a bathroom, so this is a plumbing wall, which is 6.5 inches. The next is the mechanical room, 11 foot, 7.5 inches. This is not a plumbing wall, so it's 4.5 inches. And then finally there's a little pantry here, which is 4 feet, and a little wall here, which is 4.5 inches. All of these are 5 foot 6 inches with a non-plumbing wall, standard size wall, 4.5 inches, and that's it. We can draw all this in with the rectangle tool. You can start up at this corner and draw it in there. Draw in this one, and this one. You can use the line tool as well, doesn't matter. I use the eraser to heal these so that it makes it all one surface. And there they are. Let's talk about cutting in door openings. Door openings are pretty straightforward. For this one, this bathroom door, there's not a specific measurement for this, so this is the sort of thing that you'd locate on the job site. So I'm just going to say it's 4 inches in. So 4 inches in for a 2 foot 6 inch door, and then I'll use the line tool to cut these out. Cut, eraser tool, and there we got that. I'll let you locate this door opening. I think I laid out this room and then took this to be 18 inches right here, so that's what I did. There's no specific location for this door, so you may have to locate it on your own. And again, I think that would be pretty standard on a job site too. I also made this 36 inches here, just so you guys know. So let's talk about this angled wall, because I think that's more interesting and more complicated problem. Finding door openings is a fairly trivial procedure. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete all my guides and start with a clean slate and then find this door opening. So this is not load bearing. These walls aren't load bearing. So pretty much on the job site, you would just figure it out. You just figure out where it is. You'd look for a reasonable way to pull these lines. My reasonable way to do it is to find the midpoint here. And then, so the way the protractor works is a 3-click operation to create a guideline. So I click on the midpoint, pull out here along this edge, and then get my guideline here. And I pull it to 45 degrees right here. So you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, it says 45, and then click. So that creates our first guideline, and I think that that's the inside of the room. So we'll try to pull another one out this way. Now that's actually kind of tricky to do. In order to do this properly, you actually have to draw in this line first, and then grab your tape measure tool, and then pull this out 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches. And then we'll cut this line in too. And we're going to cut it from back here and all the way out to here because we're going to actually delete and heal up. We're going to delete these lines and then heal these to get our angled wall. Now, we need to find this doorway. That's another interesting question for how to do it. And this is how I would do it. I would say take a line. This is a guideline that we're going to delete. And if you pull it out, you can actually get a perpendicular line. See how it turns purple? So it's perpendicular to that edge. And this gives us something. So it's a line that we're going to erase. But it gives us something to pull off of. So I grab the tape measure tool, pull this way until I find the midpoint on this line. Oh, that'll actually be misplaced. Let's do this slightly differently. Pull this line, and then we'll draw our guideline out here. It doesn't matter exactly where it is, just that you have a line that's out here perpendicular to this. Then you can take your tape measure tool, and you don't care about the specific length, you just want a perpendicular guide halfway on this line, on the halfway point of this line. So when it turns blue, that's your midpoint. Then to locate the door, we simply go 2'6", 1'3" is a 2'6" inch door, and then from here you'd pull. It's not giving me my line. There we go. 2'6". There we go. And then we can use the line tool to cut in our door opening. Eraser tool to get rid of this, and all the guides, heal this, and boom, there we have it. So I'll leave it to you to fill in all the other details, get the other things, and I'll come back at the end of the video and show you some things that I discovered as well. Okay, I finished mine, and I'll point out a couple of things that I think are important to note, where to find certain measurements. This wall is a main load-bearing wall. The exterior story is actually supported by this wall, so you're going to want, so this one is actually a 2x8 wall, and it's 8¼ inches thick, so keep that in mind. When you're laying out this stuff, all the measurements are pretty much there, except for a couple of these little ones here. So locating these doors, just use your best judgment. I put this door right in the middle, even though it looks like it's slightly offset as a pocket door that kind of goes into this wall. And I don't think we're going to model in the pocket door. We might give it a crack, see if we can do something that looks cool. The last measurement to kind of make sure that everything was okay was to pull this line here and make sure that it was 13 foot 4 3/4 inches, and then that was perfect. So I didn't do the breakfast nook. I'm going to save it for the next video but for now, let's do the push-pull up because it's dramatic and it's cool, and then we can do the breakfast nook as a separate little modeling challenge. So what I want you to do is look at this. Okay, in the plan on the second page, the main floor height is 9 feet to the ceiling. So we're going to do that. We're going to pull that up, grab the wall. If you've healed all of these correctly, and it looks like I missed one. Eraser, there we go. And then, there's one. Control Z if you make a mistake. I think that's everything else. So push, pull everything up, and then go 9 feet. So we have 9 foot ceilings. And there it is. That's the main floor. We'll add, next video, we'll add windows, doors, and Oh, the last thing we want to do is componentize the first floor. So triple click it to collect everything, make it a component, call it first floor, and then hit OK. And now whenever we want to edit something on this, we actually have to go into it in order to make changes to it. And that's going to make it easier to make it hide it if we're working on the second floor, things like that, which we'll get to in the next video. We'll see you then.